Welcome to another episode of That Arrow Show. Tonight's episode, Kapiushon, Capricorn. Tonight's episode, second chances. We're gonna get into the good, we're gonna get into the bad, and we're gonna get into the Laurel. All right. So tonight on Arrow, Oliver and Adrian made a snuff film, and Oliver safe worded at the last minute. Anybody got any goods?
We got some goods. The goods this episode is, as he would say, the fight choreography was actually on point this episode. But where the fuck was this Oliver the entire season? I go to the bathroom for 2 minutes, and I come back, and y'all have a brand new guy.
So did you catch how Oliver was pissed after that lady died, and the first dude he walked up on, he grabbed him
up in the air, slammed on the wall, and
then Hulk smash.
He favored that.
Nah, fuck that. When he kicked over the door and gave the 2-piece with the arrow, I was like, whoa, now you tripping. Now I see why he loved Russia, because he was like, he too lit.
And then the fight with Dolph Lundgren, that fight. That was a pretty good fight.
It was a pretty good fight.
I mean, he had to make up for it because of his lousy acting. So, I mean, at least he could take an ass up and he contributed that.
Okay.
But yeah, it was good.
Yeah. I am interested to see that little reveal at the end that Dolph Lundgren actually lived. So
You mean how Dolph Lundgren is Prometheus?
I just don't know. I don't know.
You know, he's Prometheus, and the reason why I feel like they're making a bad reveal worse. The reason why it's obvious that he's Prometheus is because of the fact that Adrian Chase is obviously his pawn, and he made specific choices this episode, including getting rid of the burning off the tattoo. We're getting into the bad now, so who's first?
First of all, this was just a dirty porno. The only thing that was missing from this episode was a ball gag and a 12-ounce thing of
This was this was awful.
How dare they make us watch the B plot as the A plot?
Exactly.
I don't even know what the fuck was going on.
I was so scared and confused when the flashback kept going when it first came on.
It never stopped.
They fucking up. Honestly, this was just filler, so because they knew they had no content for this episode.
Yeah,
and
they needed an episode so bad.
Honestly, we only went so long with the goods as we did because that stuff kind of happened towards the end of the episode. So this was a good 12-minute episode.
And I mean, it's okay. Y'all can do shorts about Vixen. Y'all might as well have just did this as a short in between the real shit.
This was literally, I want to get Oliver the safe word. That I want him to say the safe word, and that was the entire episode. He kept saying, "What do you want from me? You tell me, Oliver. You tell me.
And
say it, Oliver.
And that
I need you to say it."
And that whole thing played out like a tortured sex scene. Like near the end, when he finally said what he needed to, Prometheus had this look of euphoria. And they cut to commercial, go to more flashback bullshit.
He sat in the corner, burning for smoking cigarettes.
Yeah. When they come back, he in the corner, Oliver on the ground, like laying there, like I can't believe you took me there.
My bad. Evelyn is reprised from, she hasn't been on here 10 episodes.
And now we're supposed to care.
So why do we care?
Exactly. That whole misreveal, I've been working with the bad guy, that was wasted.
Let me tell you how useless it was bringing Evelyn back. When she first appeared, I did not know who that was. I did not know who that was. It took a long time before I could connect the dots. Like, I think they brought her on, she said some shit, it went to commercial, it came back. Like,
she was still there.
She was still there.
And none of that is still making sense.
Like, you should have just kept her dead. I would have accepted. Like, now what is her role in all of this?
Nothing.
What was the point of breaking her neck in front of Oliver?
Like, you don't even care about her. Like, you could have just killed the homeless man on the street and it would have garnered a better reaction.
Exactly.
Another bad is Dolph Lundgren clearly needed gas money. and or some way to pay his bills, because this was just awful.
He needed enough money to buy the 4 for 4 from Wendy's. That's
exactly. He was like, no Expendables 4. I need to do something.
He cannot act for shit.
Like, you know how we rag on the extras for doing too much shit? That was Dolph Lundgren.
He walked out on stage during one part, and he just had this, where he was in a tuxedo, and he had this stupid look on his face, looking around in the air like he was looking for a Trump rally or some shit.
So now we're about to get into the Laurel. I'll start off first. The Laurel was this whole fucking episode. This episode sucked. It did suck.
Yeah, actually, I'm right there with you.
It wasn't even like. Except for the fact that this played out like a weird fetish porn. It wasn't even that funny. Like fuck. Elephant. Her name is Elephant now. Elephant coming back didn't make sense. The flashbacks were way too long and uninteresting. And then the big reveal is, I like to kill. We knew that.
We already knew.
We already knew that.
Oliver was a sociopath. Big reveal.
Exactly. Like
Next thing you know, he gonna grab the weatherman. Tell me, he's like, the sky's blue.
Like seriously, like in season 5, where we've seen his entire journey, like we saw him turning into this. If this was some shit you popped off at me on season 2, then I probably would have been like, oh my damn. But this was nothing. Like we knew this. We knew this.
And it kind of makes seasons 2 through 4 kind of pointless, because you jerked us off with this, he gonna be good shit, and then I like to kill. So what? So what do you do after the whole everybody go out and be superhero shit when that's done? Do you just go kill homeless in the backyard?
And it also doesn't make sense because he left the Green Arrow life last season to go live in the suburbs. So,
which brings me to my second Laurel, that he decided he's shutting down the studio.
I'm shutting down the studio
again.
He's like, then he saw Curtis, he's like, I'll walk for a cheesecake.
Like, you did this last season.
Like, it's literally rinse and repeat.
Diggle even had a look on his face when Oliver came through the door like, don't you say you shutting down the studio.
No,
don't you pull that bullshit
that's
again.
That's not how Diggle look. Diggle like, I've seen that look in jail before. Oliver, what did he do to you? He's like, Oliver, where did he touch you?
Everything.
So, damn, I lost it. Fuck.
I mean, basically we proved already that vigilantism can go on without Oliver. So shutting down the studio doesn't mean much.
I'm like, this motherfucker was gone for 6 days.
So Prometheus or Adrian, or you just go to work, do your regular lawyer shit, and then straight from work you drive over to the torture dungeon and fuck with Oliver. Because you don't even try to get comfortable, like put on some sweatpants or some shit.
I wonder if he went there like on like lunch break and shit.
When he brought Elephant in, that was probably on his lunch break. Cause you see, he threw her in there and be like, when I come back, she better be dead. And then he left.
And they didn't even have time to even try to murder each other.
And he kind of looked like.
I don't even think he left the building. I think he literally like, I'm gonna go eat this sandwich. When I get back, one of y'all better be dead.
And I think he was kind of in a rush when he threw her in there. Like, this motherfucker is something else.
He came in there, saw she was still alive, his penis was flaccid. He was
like, damn it.
Alright guys, so that's it for this episode of That Arrow Show. But before we go, we have one thing we want to address.
So OTA Strong hit us up about the Mark Guggenheim situation at the con that happened. And just a brief discussion on that. First of all, Mark Guggenheim is a fuckboy. Let's put that on the Let's put that slice of bread on the table first.
Can you explain for anybody that doesn't?
So those of you guys, go ahead.
Oh, so last year we decided to trek to San Diego Comic-Con, which was a whole event in itself. But we did manage to catch the Arrow panel. Mark Guggenheim was there. It was question and answer time. Some young, impressionable young gentleman came up to the microphone and asked Mark Guggenheim, so we noticed you have a lot of Batman characters on this show.
We know your show is Batman.
We noticed that Green Arrow is basically Bruce Wayne Batman. So are we going to get any members from the Bat family on the show?
This mug bitch.
Don't lean over. Well, there's a show like that. It's called Gotham.
No, it's called Arrow. And then, tell them what happened last week.
So this past weekend, word has it on the street that someone asked about the writing of the show. And basically he just pawned it off on the actors not doing their job.
And this was at another con?
Paley Fest, something like that.
But let me address this. I think that's disheartening and deplorable. Like, okay, let's be real at this juncture. People dropping off this show. That said, though, like, why don't you be honest and say, because a competent producer or whatever would say something like, well, Green Arrow's history isn't the best in the DC universe. Like, own up to it.
Exactly. Like you would actually get brownie points for saying we took
Exactly
from Batman.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And you could probably put DC on Front Street and say, DC, you know,
write some better Green
start
Arrow
writing some better Green Arrow stories. Because let's also be real, when they rebooted Green Arrow in the New 52, they forced themselves to keep that book alive because of the TV show. The TV show actually saved that book.
So you have way more power than you realize.
Exactly.
The writing could be bad, but if you have a good actor that can elevate that material, it shouldn't matter. So you're basically saying that your actors can't elevate your material. You basically admitted that the material that you are giving them is bad.
Exactly.
So my thing is,
Which actually isn't true, because the actors on this show have done some good work.
You don't. Felicity and Oliver don't have a following because they're bad actors.
Basically, Mark Guggenheim, you don't take responsibility for your fuck-ups.
Come back here next week for our reaction to that episode. And hopefully it'll be better than this one. Like and subscribe. We're on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. I think we're on Instagram.
Still on 4chan.
I guess we're on 4chan now. Any fetish sites we on after this episode?
Well, now that you mention it.
And remember to hit the bell so that you can get subscriptions to other episodes and be letting and for us to let you know whenever we put new episodes and stuff out. As per usual, a new episode of I Got the Runs came out yesterday. Yes, that's right. We do have a new episode of Concession Stands up as well. Alright, everybody. Peace.